All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Hustle Podcast. Today we're on episode 35. My name is John. I'm your host for the podcast, and we got my co-host,
Gabriel Arambula.
and of course, if you guys are new here, what we talk about on this podcast is everything relating to mindset, business, how we can add value to you guys, and also Gabe and I share our collective 25 years of entrepreneurial experience and mistakes. That way, you guys know what to avoid and speed up your process and whatever journey you're on. And for today's topic, we usually have something that we come up with, but we like keeping it real, raw, authentic. So we
Yeah.
just have conversation, man. We just
Yeah.
have conversation off the cuff, and every time, we just talk in general, right? On the way here, driving home, just in general, there's always so much value that we bring up. We're like, dang, we got to record this. So
Here we are.
yeah,
Recording it,
like,
talking.
yep.
Off the cuff.
Whenever we have like no topics, like we're never worried because just talking in general, like it's like our life. Like we are here to give back, provide value, share our experiences, and yeah, it's tough, but we're still going.
Heck yeah.
Dude, Harry's podcast this morning was freaking
It's
amazing.
fire. It was good, man. It was good. We have a good time. We have a good time on here, and that's what we want to do. The saying goes, if you love what you're doing, you never work a day in your life. And doing this podcast, involved in the industry that we're in, it's an exciting place, and every day offers new opportunities, new challenges, which are opportunities to learn, and the opportunity to get outside of your comfort zone. And that's one of the things that I feel for myself in life, that when I began to get comfortable with getting outside of my comfort zone more and more opportunities opened up, greater exposure. And it's like this podcast does that. And I think for myself, in school I was pretty introverted for the most part. I was like introverted, but I still, like, people knew me and stuff because I guess I was just vocal at the right time, or whatever the case may be. But I kind of like, I enjoyed, like, school plays and stuff like that, participating. And then getting older, going into skateboarding contests helped me get outside of my comfort zone. And then skateboarding in general, helped me get outside of my comfort zone. And in business, it is important to get outside of your comfort zone. You have a lot of individuals that get stuck in their ways, and it could prevent them from reaching or finding those new opportunities, and growing at a higher level, and things of that nature. And one of the things that is absolute is things are constantly changing.
Yep.
And as things change, if you don't evolve with those things, you'll be left in the dust. And being bold enough to step outside of your comfort zone and learn something new, do something new, like this podcast, right? You've always wanted to do a podcast.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to do a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until John and I linked up here at the lender, and we knew each other previously, but it wasn't until we linked up here, we're like, let's just record a podcast. And we started, right? And
Yeah.
from that, John has honed his skill of editing and producing these podcasts and creating content around it. And had it not been for stepping outside of the comfort zone and exploring something new, you wouldn't have learned these new skills. And I mean, who knows what else is to come to fruition, and the interactions and conversations we have with peers, with business partners. It makes a huge difference for, I know for us, strengthening those connections and those relationships, but also for, the other account executives that are on the podcast, our business partners, realtors, loan officers, and brokers. Just that added exposure is great, and it helps. And that's one of the things that I always want to continue to challenge myself to do, is stepping outside of that comfort zone. You know, like, bro, there should be a day where you're performing piano live in front of a crowd.
Yeah,
You
it
know,
should,
even
huh?
at a bar
Yeah.
or something, or at a
Just for
restaurant,
fun,
dude.
you know?
Just for fun,
Yeah.
man.
It's like, think about how many, I like what you said about stepping outside of your comfort zone, because we're so conditioned. Like, a lot of people, like 99% of people in the world are conditioned to be in their comfort zone. And whenever they feel discomfort, like that's like their fight or flight turns on,
Mhm.
right? They're like, oh, I'm in danger because I feel like fear, anxiety, nervousness, even though they're not in actual danger. But what I found from, it is a difference between like danger and, what was it, like fear and danger.
Fear and danger. Well, I mean, like, you know,
Like,
I
or
don't know what is the difference. Where you get, because when I think of fear and danger, I think of them as almost being synonymous. But like, fear is, someone that can actually, you know, see danger, sense it, and know that that's dangerous.
right, it's
And
like
danger
mental.
is just in and of itself, something that's dangerous.
Yeah, it's like building a business is not, it's not dangerous. You're
It's not
not you're
dangerous.
not going to
Yeah.
like die or
Yeah,
hurt
it's not like you're
yourself.
putting your hand in
But
fire. It's just the fear of the
yeah,
unknown.
it's like it's all mental, right? It's because we're conditioned to being in our comfort zone, having certainty, like having a
Hmm.
roadmap for ourselves. That's why when you go to school, they teach you to just follow directions. Here's
Yeah.
how you do this, right? They teach you like what to learn, but not really how to learn and how to think critically. And that's
Yeah.
where like being an entrepreneur, like having critical thinking comes into play, because there's so many like obstacles that come up every single day. Like Erwin and I were talking about like putting out fires. Like that shit
Hmm.
comes all the time. Like nobody teaches you how to put out fires, right? And all this stuff is, it's really uncomfortable. It's really, really uncomfortable.
Well, it
But
could be until like you build that muscle, and so like I
yeah,
think to tie it all in, the act of stepping outside
yeah.
of your comfort
You
zone,
build that muscle.
it helps you build your
Yeah,
muscle to better respond to spontaneous situations or
yeah,
problem solving and critical thinking, and in management. It's like it's constantly putting out fires, and it's what 1 minute when I was running retail stores, it's like, okay, 1 minute, hey, inventory, we did inventory, okay, this store's short 10, 20, $30,000. Why is it short? Like, you got to
mm,
do that research, and you got to figure it out, and you got to ask questions, and you got to know where to go, and you got to be able to think quick, and
like problem solve.
yeah, you got to problem solve, and stepping outside of one's comfort zone, it helps build that
Mm,
muscle, and then also like running to challenges like we talked about earlier. Be the one to run to the challenge, find the solution,
mm,
and you get better and better at it. And it's easy, especially when you have resources, to lean on resources as opposed to solving it yourself or learning how to solve it. But it's not always the best route. Sometimes it's necessary to delegate problem solving to certain individuals, but it's a good idea to kind of learn how to solve those problems, and maybe not lean on your leader to solve the problem, but you figure it out yourself, and try your best to solve the problem. And if you need
mm.
an additional help, you could reach out to your leader. But I think stepping outside of the comfort zone, very good. It helps. I feel pretty comfortable in my own skin,
Oh yeah.
and that
Like
is
think,
just from building that muscle.
like just imagine like not wanting to step outside your comfort zone and how many opportunities you're missing out on,
Oh,
right?
tons,
Like
man.
I know there's so many times where I probably could have spoken to somebody
Hmm.
at a networking event, but I had fear that it was gonna be like a bad outcome or something, right? It was
Yeah.
uncomfortable. So what I did was just stay in my comfort zone. And what I found over time from doing personal growth, getting out there more, really pushing myself to be in my discomfort and just like overcome my fear, like talk to people. Like I built like a huge fucking network of like
Hmm.
amazing ass people, like high level entrepreneurs, like guys who are crushing it in business, guys who I can just give a phone call to. They can like help me with any questions I have. And that came from just like having the courage in like myself to just walk up to those people and just
Hmm.
talk. right?
Yeah.
And bro, what I realized after taking a lot of risk and being outside of my comfort zone, it's never as bad as it seems.
Never.
It's
Yeah.
never as bad as it seems. It's literally kind of the opposite, right?
Yeah.
Like you may think that, oh, this guy is gonna like judge me or they're gonna shut me down, whatever, but they're open, they're receptive, like, oh hey, come here, like how can I help
Yeah,
you?
it's
It's so
always
cool.
easier than we
Yeah.
think, right? It's always easier than we think, and the
Wait,
monkey
what?
mind, our
Harder
monkey
than we
mind,
think, you mean?
it's always easier than we think it's going to be.
Easier. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, you think a
Yeah.
thing might be hard, right? But
Mm.
when you actually do it, it's always easier. It's always easier, and like our mind, like the way we think in our mindset, has a good bearing on the outcome of a lot of these situations in our decision making process, and like mindset and just protecting your mind, your thoughts. It's critical, like it's important, flooding your mind with like positivity,
Mm.
thinking positive, thinking solution focused, not really dwelling on the obstacle, but think about the solution is, critical to leadership and getting or having the ability or learning the ability to solve those problems. 'Cause something's always going to happen. You're always going to get a curveball, and you got to be able to navigate, man. And sometimes it's like when you get bummed on the problem, you can get just like stuck on it for so long. When in all
Mm.
reality, it's just a matter of taking the bull by the horns and going forward with it. Is huge. And so, like problem solving, stepping outside of your comfort zone, all these things are hand in hand. They walk hand in hand with
Yeah.
each other.
You know what's crazy too, but like what I know I shared with you a couple times. Like there would be times where I would have so much overwhelm in my brain.
Hmm.
Like I'm like, fuck, this problem is so damn big. Like there's so much stress and anxiety, right? But when I actually break it down, I'm like, wait a minute, that's it? That's all I'm worried about? What's the worst case scenario? What the fuck? I'm still alive? Cool. Then I solve it.
Yeah,
And that's it.
and it's it.
There's a great it's called the ability to process issues, like how to
Hmm.
process issues. Patrick David,
Hmm.
he has a great video on that on YouTube, like how to process issues. He breaks it down like, okay, like what is the issue here? Okay,
Hmm.
what caused that issue? Okay, and then what are all the solutions to solve that issue?
Hmm.
Okay, what's the worst case scenario? Right, and then if you can handle it, then cool. Like, what are
Yeah.
my next obvious actions to handle it? Who do I got to talk to solve that issue? Right, and then how can I prevent that issue from coming up next time? Like it's literally game planning, like how to solve the problem,
Mm.
breaking it down. You know, I can show you it later too. Like it's
Yeah.
so badass.
You brought up a good point. It's funny. A
Yeah,
friend of mine, Kevin, he mentioned something a long time ago, and it stuck. It stuck with me, and it has to do with like decision making and taking risks and things like that.
yeah,
And what it was, he said, anytime he's faced with making a decision or taking a risk, he would just look at like, okay, what's the worst possible outcome that could happen if I made this decision?
mm,
And could I live with that outcome, and can I bounce back
mm-hmm.
from
Yeah,
the result of that worst case scenario? And that stuck with me, and I think about that a lot. And man, dude, I've bounced back a ton of times, man, and it's almost like the harder the ball falls, the higher it bounces up
yeah,
sometimes, and it's like every obstacle, every time I've had to just pivot or reinvent myself, or overcome whatever the obstacle may be to move forward, because I took a risk that maybe didn't go the way that I wanted to, because it's been more than once. um, I've always bounced back, and it seems like it's getting better and better. So I mean, I just got to keep going.
you're
But
still
yeah,
here, G.
I'm still
Still
here.
here,
I'm
still
still
going.
here. Still here. Still going. Need to be going skateboarding. Haven't skateboarded in like 3 days, dude. Three or
Skate
four
today.
days. I
Skate
think.
today, bro.
Yeah, I might,
Or
man. I'm
tomorrow.
just so busy, bro. I got to. I want to get a haircut, but I didn't schedule an appointment because I'm always last minute.
See
Um.
if Alan's free.
Yeah, I'll do random, but that guy's probably booked, bro.
Bro, he's like grinding, bro. 7 a.m. to
I'll
like
figure
fucking
out. I want to check
11
out
to
this new
10.
barbershop that
Oh yeah,
one of the maintenance guys in
yeah.
Santa Ana. I'm gonna see if it's open. Usually Santa Ana barbershop maybe stay a little bit later.
Yeah, it's like
So
7, 8 o'clock,
just a little
9.
cleanup, just a little cleanup on the sides. But no, it's been a productive week, man. It's been a productive
Yeah,
week.
it's a Thursday now. Like
Yeah,
we got a lot. Yeah, dude. Looking back, last 4 days, we got a lot of shit done, bro. Like for me, I've been like getting my shit done really early. Like
yeah, getting in early
by
helps, dude.
I would finish all my follow up, all my admin work around like when it's power hour, bro, like 2 o'clock, 2 or 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
I'm like, shit. What else do I do?
Well, yeah,
And
and
then
you
I'm just prospecting at my queue
mhm,
afterwards.
pulling
You know.
deals, man, and like the
Hmm.
productivity hack is just putting in more time. I mean, listen, if
Yeah.
the average person is working 8 hours a day, average person is working 8 hours a day.
Hmm.
If you're putting at least 10 hours a day, just 2 more hours
Yeah.
than everyone else, that's an extra day a week. Extra day a week is an extra day a week is 52 days a year. That's a month and a half extra
Oh,
per
that's true.
year.
That's true
If
too.
you just put in 2 hours more a day, 10 hours, you gain a month and a half.
You're a month ahead of someone.
You're
Every
easily a month ahead,
competition.
and then if you're working 12 hours, like you're a couple months ahead. Like
How much have we worked so far? Like past 4 days? I think Monday like 11
I don't
hours.
know, bro. We've been getting in at 7, leaving at 7, like 11 to 12 hours a day.
Yeah, I checked the timestamp today.
Yeah, we'll
Yesterday it
take.
was
That's why I don't feel bad taking a long lunch sometimes,
yeah,
man, because we're working so hard and like,
it's 12 hours.
yeah, long days and having like a nice long lunch, sitting down is kind of helps clear the brain a little bit, and then you can
We
get back
technically
to work refreshed.
we technically work like more because you and I talk about business afterwards too. We're like
Yeah,
role playing and stuff. Like
at biz at
yeah,
after work, before work,
on the way
at
here,
lunch.
we're like role playing, going through like matrices. I'm asking Gabe questions,
I hate
even
it.
though he hates
I
it.
hate it. It's early in the morning. This guy's asking me to role play.
Yeah,
It's like 6:30 in the morning.
yeah.
I'm like half awake, and he's asking to role play. I'm like, bro,
We're
no,
driving. It's like
stop,
all of a
shut
sudden
up,
I'm
no.
like ring ring. I was like ring ring. He was like, damn
I
it.
turned the volume up. I turned the volume
Turn the
up on the
music on,
radio
and
and
I'm like, hey Gabe,
just ignore him.
and I'm still going.
And I give in. And I give in. Yeah, it's Gabe.
Yes, Gabe. Hey,
It's
what's up,
Gabe.
Gabe?
What do you want?
And then after work too, we do like debrief. We go through like our wins, our losses, and then we figure out like areas for improvement. Like wins, we keep doing what we're doing, right? And then losses, we figure out okay, like why were there losses? Like what can we do better? How can we overcome it? How can we change it for the following day? And yeah, bro, like
That's critical. So it's like
yeah,
I think a great exercise or phenomenal exercise that is really underutilized is reflections.
yeah,
Having a midday reflection, a evening reflection on the day, like John said, because it's so easy to get stuck in the mundane routine of going through the motions, and if all you're doing is going through the motions but not looking at your compass and not looking at the course you've charted to see if you're on course to the destination that you desire, if you're not looking and having a reflection to see where you did great and where you can improve,
mm,
it really begs the question, are you improving at the rate that you could improve at should you analyze your progress? And I think that's something that I know I value and have underutilized
mm,
in the past, but also have utilized in the past. So,
yeah,
in the world of multi-unit management or retail management, one of the things that my leaders did that I think was phenomenal, that attributed to our success, is we would have a morning conference call
mm,
every morning. We'd go over our performance from the previous day.
mm,
Did we hit goal? If we didn't hit goal, why did we not hit goal, and what can we do to improve? If we did hit goal, how did we hit goal,
mm.
and what are we going to do to keep it going, to crush goal again?
And
Um,
you ran how many stores back then?
Stores anywhere from like 15 to 20.
15 to 20 stores in that district.
As a district manager, and then as an account managers, like over 30 stores. And so taking a look at the progress on a day to day, it helps because you could adjust, you navigate, you think, you know what, when we were say for instance in that business, okay, we were selling phones, but we weren't selling new activations, we were selling upgrades, so the revenue was low.
Right? Okay,
what was our accessories at? Yeah. Like, what could we do better? And then from that call, then I communicate with my teams. I reach out to my managers, let them know, all right, cool, here's what we need to do. Here's where we ended up yesterday. And it always breaks down to like the 80-20 principle, right? Pareto principle, right? You got 20% of the people doing 80% of the work, 80% of the people only doing 20% of the work. And it's like, how do we switch and change that ratio? The only way we can do that is analyzing our business. And same thing with doing one-on-ones with employees. The times that I did and performed the best as a leader is when I was consistent with one-on-ones, because you're sitting down with your team and you're analyzing your progress, you're making recommendations, you're coaching, you're pivoting,
they appreciate it too. Like, they love that stuff.
And that was the biggest thing. It improved morale, because when you let people know how much you care, they care about how much you know. And when a leader is taking time aside to invest it into his people or her people, the people feel valued and it boosts morale. And so if you're doing that with all your employees, that's an instant morale booster. So if you're in a business right now, and if you are managing and leading a team and there is low morale, I guarantee you have not been doing one-on-ones consistently, and you have not been investing in your team to the degree that they need the investment of you as a leader. And so take a look at that. And it's just those daily reflections, man, it's critical. And even though like it's easy to get lazy when you've been doing something for so long, it's easy to just want to go through the motions. But man, it's just such a difference. Like,
you can't go through the emotions. Like, that's gonna destroy you.
Yeah.
Because like things are always changing. Like, if you're just on autopilot, like you're like you mentioned, right, Gabe? You don't know if you're even on the right track or not. And I like what you mentioned about like doing one-on-ones with your guys, because like that is like that just shows, especially when you do a good job, or you're having that one-on-one chat with them, you're game planning with them, you're showing them you care. Like, they really appreciate it. And like when I was running my sales team for life insurance, I would do one-on-ones like once a week with them, right? Just touch base, see how they're doing, and then we'll even break down like what are their goals, like long-term goals, midterm goals, short-term goals, like create a whole plan for them. How can they reach that? Like, how many calls they got to make, how many dollars they got to come across, how many hours they got to work, what kind of mindset they have, like who do they got to talk to reach those goals. And just those check-ins, it just shows them that, hey, like they're not alone in like this process, right? It's like they know that I see them, I care. And then from there, they're way more productive. They start running up numbers, and then that ripples into like the entire culture as well, right?
100%.
And like, if I just went through the motions and didn't do any of that, like reaching out to my employees or any of that sort, and just doing my own thing, like I wouldn't have a business. I wouldn't have like a sales team. Like, everyone will be doing their own thing. And whenever business gets stagnant, like, even if I try to like motivate them on like meetings, whatever, like they probably wouldn't care, because I didn't create that personalized time with them. You know?
And again, just goes back to that often overused silly saying, people don't know how much you know until they know how much you care. And just showing them you care means the world. And like that's like, it spans across all kinds of areas in life, in relationships with your kids, with significant others. Like, as a parent, it's easy to like, just tell, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this, you got to do that. But it's like, if you're not spending that time with your kids, and you're not investing in your kids, it's hard. It's going to be more difficult for them to take direction with you. And the same thing like, with a spouse, if you don't, or a significant other, if you don't invest that time, um, in them, and listening to them and their needs, it's difficult for you to be able to express how you feel and have it be well received, right? It's just really just being open minded and listening, and like when you have those one-on-ones with your employees, like really asking them, like, how are you doing, like really and genuinely want to know like what's going on. And like, dude, there's been countless times where like I've had employees like, open up and just kind of get a little like teary-eyed because they're going through something, or because they're so happy, and they're like, it's happened like more than once. And like,
Yeah.
there's also been times where like I discovered that the way that I was coaching a particular employee, they just didn't gel with that communication style. How I thought, like I thought, okay, with this person, this is how I need to coach them, but I was off. I was so off. So it was good. Like you discover those things, and it makes a big difference. It makes a big difference.
Yeah, dude. Taking the time and actually understanding, like, what's the best way to, like, coach them, because everyone has different learning styles. You
Yeah.
know, like, you won't know what motivates someone until you actually like sit down with them, talk to them, like understand like what even drives them to keep going, like a chip on their
Yeah.
shoulder.
Yeah, no,
You know.
100%. Like I know for me, like I gel pretty well with any management style,
Mhm.
but also too like depending on the circumstances. So it's like if I'm in a position where I have to learn something new, or I'm in a new field, or I'm on a path to improve or get to the next level, and I'm learning from someone, and I have a mentor and a leader. Like I prefer like that tough love, like someone that's gonna tell it to me like it is, gonna be rough on me, and let me know to step it up. Like that that's the type of coaching that I gel with at that level. When it comes to like higher level management, um, you know, I, I love it when I have a leader that it just boom, it's just right there for level support and lets me run and do my thing. Um, that's great. At the higher level management, it's just annoying when you have someone micromanaging you.
That's the
I mean,
worst.
if you yeah, if
Yeah.
you're if you're performing, you're executing, and your leader's still micromanaging you, your leader's probably got a problem. They're probably insecure, or
Yeah.
there's something going on there.
Like they don't trust themselves to give you that freedom to like make
Yeah,
mistakes. They're trying to control everything, and instead of just giving you like autonomy.
yeah.
You
Give you
know.
autonomy to perform, to
Yeah.
execute, and do what you have to in order to take care of the task at hand. Um, you know,
Have you ever had micromanagers on your when you're working?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. A lot, man. I've had micromanagers in a number of different
What was that like compared to
industries.
like?
I could deal with it. It's just annoying. It's
Yeah.
just a little annoying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like you build tolerance to this stuff, and just having a good understanding and having empathy. That okay, well, this is how this person leads, and they're leading this way
Mm.
for whatever reason.
There's a reason
It's
behind
not
it.
my favorite,
Yeah.
but I could roll with it. Like, if you want to call me every like hour, if you want to update on numbers every hour,
Yeah.
like,
KPIs and stuff.
yeah, all right,
Metrics.
cool.
I mean, it's
We could
cool.
we could do that, but I'd
Yeah.
rather spend and invest that time on like driving the numbers. Um, so yeah, it just varies. It's different, man. It's good though. It's good. I like leadership. I like the variety of different leadership styles and working for individuals. Like for me as a leader, I think I lean more towards the I'm like a hype man. I'm like engaged.
Yeah. Same,
I'm a
bro.
hype
I'm like
man. I'm
super hype,
engaged.
man. I'm like,
Yes.
let's go, guys. Let's run
Yeah.
this shit up, bro.
Yeah.
In the office,
Love closing.
like during like midday whenever I'm like going for a walk or whenever I come back, I'm like, hey, let's go, big day, half day, we're still going, run this
Hmm.
shit up. We're
Oh
like,
yeah,
let's go, let's
man.
go, let's go.
Got to, bro.
It's fun, dude. It's fun.
Yeah, pump everybody up, man.
Because when it gets dead, bro, like you need someone to like do that. Like, everyone, get the
Well,
fuck
you have
up.
to, especially in a sales environment,
Yeah,
man. Like
dude.
energy is energy, mindset, hype is everything in a sales environment. If the sales environment's dull, that's a problem. It's like whenever the leadership comes in our office, man, they want to hear people on the phones.
Yeah,
They
dude.
want to
It's
hear
like
and see excitement.
noise. It's
You know,
fun. It's very fun
yes,
having noise, you know?
yes, they want that. No, 100%, man. Like it makes a difference, and it creates that environment and that culture, and the culture, that soil, when it's rich, when you have that rich culture, when you have that energy, that excitement that enriches the culture, and it is creating a culture that's conducive to providing, or
Mm,
rather driving, a sales success, sales results. But
right.
it's good stuff, man.
I guess for you, bro, like down the line, like if and when you want to become manager again, running a team, like how would you run it? Like a sales floor, like
I
break it
would
down.
probably, I'd want to be on the floor
Mm.
most of the time. I
Would you
like
be like
being on the
dialing
floor.
too, or just like coaching and
A
stuff?
little bit. It
Yeah.
just depends on the needs of the business, right? And so, like any good leader is going to pivot towards the needs of the business, and the needs of the business are always changing. It's like
Mm,
what's going to be more needful? Do I have, fires I need to put out, escalations, or where are sales numbers at? Do I got to pump my
mm,
team up? Do they need to see me dialing? Do I need to get engaged? Like, are there
right.
any deals that they're trying to pull? What can we do to drive numbers? I want to know, and I want to be on the floor, and so it's just gonna all vary based on the needs of the business. But I'm pretty hands on.
Mm,
I'm pretty hands on and pretty engaged.
right.
I enjoy that. I like that stuff
That's
because,
fun, dude. It's like you're actually in the
yeah,
trenches too, like having
I like
fun.
leading
It's
from the
cool.
front.
Yeah.
And when you see me, bro, like in the store, like when we
Yeah,
were
bro.
managing stores, I was engaging with
You're like
customers, like,
everywhere, bro.
yeah, just like running it, man. Like
That shit was
someone's
lit.
got to do it. Yeah, what do you think, man? Episode 35, is that a wrap? Anything else we want to hit on?
I can keep going, bro, like fucking for a long ass time, but
I could too.
I think so, man. We should wrap it up. But yeah,
Yeah, I
hope you
got a
guys
new deal I got to submit. Some other stuff I got to tee up, and I'm tired. It's 4:32, bro. I want to
4:30.
hang in for like another hour and a half.
Yeah,
Get
do your
some work
thing.
done. Want to get this podcast knocked out. The two a days, episode number 35. If you want to hop on the podcast, tap in. All our contact information is in the description as well as in the bio. If you have anything you want us to talk about, let us know. If you're a loan officer or mortgage broker, want to find out more about the lender and our loan programs, tap in. Strong in all things non-QM, DSCR,
Mm,
FHA pricing's phenomenal with a killer down payment assistance program going 101.5% CLTV. So tap in, folks.
boom.
Until next time,
See you guys tomorrow.
we're out. Yes.
Boom.
Boom.
Let's
Pow.
go.
Blow.
That was good.
It was good, bro.